You thought you were eating healthy. You made the switch to lighter snacks, picked the foods labeled Heart Smart, and maybe even cut back on fat like they told you years ago. But what if I told you that some of those so-called healthy choices might actually be harming your heart? And I'm not talking about junk food. I mean foods that millions of older women eat every single day with the best of intentions. In fact, 3 of the most common healthy items, a popular morning drink, a snack found in almost every pantry, and a butter substitute that's often advertised as cholesterol-free, might be silently damaging your arteries, raising your blood pressure, and making your heart work harder than it should. I'm here to walk you through all 3. And no, I won't just tell you what to avoid. You'll also discover what to eat instead, simple swaps that can support your heart, lower inflammation, and even improve your energy levels, all backed by science. Now, if you're a woman over 60, this message is especially important for you. That's because your body has gone through changes, hormonal, metabolic, and vascular, that make your heart more vulnerable than it was in your 40s and 50s. But don't worry, with the right knowledge, you can take back control. And it all starts with what's on your plate. My goal isn't to scare you, it's to empower you with the truth, the facts, and the simple choices you can make, starting today. So let's uncover what these 3 hidden culprits are, why they're dangerous, and how you can protect your heart for the long run. We'll begin with something many people don't realize: why women over 60 face a very different kind of risk when it comes to heart disease. When we talk about heart disease, most people think of men clutching their chest or images of blocked arteries. But here's the truth. After the age of 60, heart disease becomes the #1 cause of death in women, and many women don't even realize they're at risk until it's too late. Why does this happen? It all comes back to one major biological shift that occurs after menopause: the decline in estrogen. Estrogen isn't just a reproductive hormone. It plays a crucial role in protecting your cardiovascular system. For decades, it helps keep your blood vessels flexible, supports healthy cholesterol levels, and even reduces inflammation. But once estrogen levels drop, your body loses a powerful line of defense, and that's when things begin to change. Quietly at first, you might start to feel more fatigued than usual, even after a good night's sleep. Or maybe you notice your ankles swelling a little more often. Climbing stairs leaves you short of breath. You get dizzy standing up too quickly. All of these can be early warning signs that your heart and blood vessels are under strain, even if your tests look normal. Postmenopausal women are more likely to develop high blood pressure, even if they never had it before. They're also more prone to something called arterial stiffness, where your blood vessels lose their ability to expand and contract. This makes the heart work harder to push blood through tight spaces, and over time, that extra effort can lead to serious problems. Another hidden danger is inflammation. After menopause, the body enters a more inflammatory state. This means the immune system is slightly more active, which sounds good, but in reality, it can damage your blood vessels. Chronic low-grade inflammation is like rust inside your pipes. It wears things down from the inside out. And then there's plaque buildup, also known as atherosclerosis. This can accelerate quickly in older women, especially if they've been eating a diet high in refined carbs, added sugars, or processed oils, foods we'll be talking about in just a moment. The scary part: women often don't get the classic symptoms of heart problems. Instead of chest pain, they might feel jaw tension, upper back pain, unusual tiredness, or anxiety. These signs can be easily overlooked or dismissed as stress, aging, or something minor. But they're not. Your body is speaking. The question is whether you're listening. Now, here's the hopeful part. You have more control than you think. What you eat, drink, and prepare in your kitchen each day can either support your heart or slowly strain it. And when you're over 60, these choices matter more than ever, especially when it comes to 3 foods that most people assume are healthy, but that can quietly erode your cardiovascular health. We're about to take a close look at each one, starting with a breakfast item that's been marketed as a smart, light choice for decades. But first, we need to understand what's really hiding inside that creamy little cup. Let's start with a staple that many older women keep in their fridge: low-fat yogurt. Now, on the surface, it seems like the perfect heart-healthy snack, right? It's light, it's creamy, It's full of calcium and sometimes even labeled with heart-healthy claims. For decades, low-fat yogurt has been advertised as the smart choice for managing weight, lowering cholesterol, and even supporting digestion. But here's the catch. Low-fat yogurt is often one of the sneakiest sources of added sugar in your entire diet, and that's where the real danger begins. When food companies remove fat, they need to make up for the lost texture and flavor. And what do they use? Sugar. Lots of it. In fact, some fruit-flavored yogurts have as much sugar as a can of soda. Others use artificial sweeteners or high-fructose corn syrup, which may not show up clearly on the label but have serious effects on your metabolic and cardiovascular health. Why does this matter more after 60? As we age, our glycemic control, the body's ability to handle sugar, becomes less efficient. After menopause, insulin sensitivity drops, meaning your blood sugar spikes more easily and stays elevated longer. Those quick sugar surges cause more damage to your blood vessels than they would have in your 30s or 40s. When you eat sweetened low-fat yogurt, your blood sugar rises rapidly. That spike triggers a wave of inflammation, which affects the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your arteries. Think of it like sandpaper rubbing against soft fabric. Over time, that damage can lead to stiffened arteries, plaque formation, and an increased risk of hypertension and heart disease. And here's something you may not know. Even artificial sweeteners, like aspartame or sucralose, often found in light yogurts, can confuse your metabolism. Studies show they may still trigger an insulin response and even alter gut bacteria in ways that increase inflammation and harm heart health. So, what should you eat instead? Here's the good news. You don't have to give up yogurt. Just choose it wisely. Opt for full-fat plain yogurt with no added sugar. The fat helps slow down sugar absorption, preventing sharp blood sugar spikes. It also contains conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a naturally occurring fatty acid shown to have anti-inflammatory effects. Better yet, try kefir, a fermented drinkable yogurt that's rich in probiotics and gentle on digestion. Or explore coconut-based yogurt, as long as it's unsweetened and made with real coconut milk. These options provide beneficial fats and probiotics without the sugar overload. If you want flavor, sweeten it naturally with a few fresh berries or a drizzle of cinnamon. You'll still get the creamy satisfaction without turning breakfast into a hidden sugar bomb. Remember, it's not just about eliminating the bad, it's about replacing it with something better. And when it comes to your heart, those small swaps can have a lasting impact. Now that we've tackled your morning yogurt, let's look at what might be hiding in your purse, your gym bag, or your pantry, the so-called healthy snack bars that claim to fuel your body, but may be doing just the opposite. If you've ever grabbed a granola bar or protein bar as a quick snack between meals, you're not alone. These bars are everywhere, marketed as energy boosters, fiber-rich, or perfect for heart health. Many women over 60 keep them in their purses, eat them on walks, or rely on them when appetite dips. But here's the problem. Most granola or fitness bars are highly processed, sugar-laden, and filled with ingredients that quietly undermine your heart health, especially after menopause. Let's break it down first. While they often boast whole grains or natural-sounding ingredients, many of these bars are held together by glucose syrup, high-fructose corn syrup, or natural sugars like brown rice syrup. These ingredients might sound harmless, but they hit your bloodstream quickly, just like table sugar. And, as we covered earlier, repeated blood sugar spikes are dangerous for aging arteries. Second, the refined oils used in many of these bars, such as soybean oil, sunflower oil, or palm kernel oil, are often oxidized during processing. That means by the time the bar reaches your hand, it's carrying fats that can trigger inflammation and damage the walls of your blood vessels, and let's not forget the added fibers, usually inulin or chicory root fiber. While fiber is essential for health, these artificial fibers are processed to bulk up the nutrition label, without the same benefits as naturally occurring fiber in whole foods. They can cause digestive issues in sensitive individuals and don't provide the same satiety or metabolic support. But what's most concerning for women over 60 is how these bars can increase visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs, and contribute to low HDL cholesterol, the good kind that protects your heart. A 2020 study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults consuming high amounts of refined carbohydrates and processed oils had a higher risk of metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and belly fat. And here's something many women don't realize. Your metabolism changes significantly after menopause. That means foods that once gave you energy may now leave you tired, bloated, or even slightly nauseated, especially if they spike your insulin and drop it quickly. So, what should you reach for instead when you need a quick snack? Is a better plan. Keep a small handful of raw or lightly roasted nuts with you, like almonds, walnuts, or pistachios. Add a few dried fruits, like figs or unsweetened cranberries, or mix your own trail mix at home with seeds, a pinch of dark chocolate, and no added oils or sugars. Why does this work better? Because nuts and seeds contain healthy fats, plant sterols, and magnesium, all of which support arterial flexibility and reduce inflammation. Dried fruits provide gentle, natural sweetness with antioxidants and real fiber that your body can use. Not only do these snacks support better blood sugar balance, they also leave you feeling satisfied longer and nourish your heart in the process. So before you reach for another fitness bar with bold claims and flashy packaging, turn it over and read the fine print. Or better yet, go for something whole, simple, and nourishing. Your heart and your energy levels will thank you. Next, we'll talk about something many people have been told is better than butter, but that could be causing silent harm to your arteries. For decades, butter was painted as the villain. Too much saturated fat, they said, bad for your cholesterol. So, what did millions of households, especially health-conscious women, do? They swapped it out for something better, margarine. But here's the uncomfortable truth, especially if you've been using margarine or plant-based spreads to protect your heart. Many of these products are doing the exact opposite. Let's take a closer look. Margarine and most plant-based spreads are typically made from vegetable oils like soybean, corn, or canola. To turn those oils into something spreadable, manufacturers use a process called hydrogenation. This creates a thicker texture, but it also creates something else, trans fats. Now, even though many countries have regulated or banned artificial trans fats, small amounts still slip through in some processed spreads. And more importantly, these hydrogenated oils can still undergo oxidation, especially when stored for long periods or heated. That oxidation process creates compounds that damage your cells, stiffen your arteries, and increase the risk of stroke and heart attack, especially for postmenopausal women. A landmark study published in Circulation showed that women who consumed the highest levels of trans fats had a significantly higher risk of heart disease. Other factors. The risk was especially pronounced in older women who had already gone through menopause. Why does this matter more after 60? As your estrogen declines, your body loses much of its natural protection against vascular inflammation and oxidative stress. That means even small amounts of these fats can trigger a bigger reaction in your arteries, leading to plaque buildup, higher blood pressure, and a greater risk of stroke. And here's another issue. Many plant-based spreads are marketed as cholesterol-free. That sounds great, but remember, cholesterol in food is not the enemy. What matters more is how your body processes fats and sugars in context. When you eat oxidized or artificial fats, your LDL cholesterol can become damaged, turning into what's known as oxidized LDL, the type most likely to get stuck in artery walls and trigger inflammation. So, what should you be spreading on your toast? Here are some smarter, heart-supportive choices. Avocado, rich in potassium, fiber, and monounsaturated fats that lower blood pressure and support vascular health. You can mash it with herbs or a squeeze of lemon for flavor. Extra virgin olive oil, high in polyphenols that protect your endothelium, the lining of your arteries. Use it for dipping, drizzling, or even blending with herbs to create a spreadable consistency. Grass-fed butter in moderation. Yes, butter. When sourced well and used sparingly, it contains vitamin K2, which plays a role in calcium regulation, helping to keep your arteries clear instead of stiff. The key here isn't perfection, it's awareness. You don't have to throw everything out of your fridge tonight, but replacing margarine with natural unprocessed fats is one of the simplest ways to reduce inflammation and protect your heart. And remember, your body isn't what it was at 30. It's wiser, more sensitive, and more responsive to what you feed it. Give it real, nourishing fats, and it will repay you with more energy, better circulation, and a stronger heart. Up next, let's connect the dots and look at how these three foods, yogurt, bars, and margarine, work together in silence to damage your arteries from the inside out. Now that we've looked at these three healthy foods individually, let's take a step back and connect the bigger picture. What do sugary low-fat yogurts, processed snack bars, and oxidized margarine have in common? They each target your arteries in a different way, but together they create a perfect storm for silent, progressive heart damage. Damage you may not feel right away, but that builds over time with every bite. Let's start with the basics. Your arteries are like flexible tubes. When you're young and healthy, they expand and contract with ease, helping blood flow smoothly to your heart, brain, and muscles. But as we age, and especially when we eat certain foods, those tubes can become stiff, narrow, and inflamed. How it happens: 1. Excess sugar, like what's found in flavored yogurts and granola bars, enters your bloodstream quickly. This causes blood sugar spikes, which trigger insulin surges, and that, in turn, leads to inflammation inside the arteries. Over time, these sugar surges damage the endothelial lining, the inner wall of your blood vessels, making them more prone to plaque buildup. 2. Oxidized fats, like those found in margarine or refined oils and snack bars, cause oxidative stress. This is like internal rust. It damages cells, alters LDL cholesterol, and makes it easier for that LDL to stick. 2. Artery walls. That's how plaques start forming and why they often go unnoticed until something serious occurs. 3. Chronic inflammation. From both sugar and unhealthy fats keeps your immune system in a low-level fight mode. It's as if your body never gets a break, and that constant stress silently wears down your blood vessels, reducing their ability to relax, expand, and protect against pressure. Eventually, this combination leads to arterial stiffness, reduced circulation, increased blood pressure, and over the years, a much higher risk of heart attack or stroke. The worst part: you might not feel anything until it's already serious. That's why they call heart disease the silent killer. But there's good news. This process is not irreversible. Your arteries are dynamic. They can heal. They can regain flexibility. They can be nourished if you start removing the sources of damage and feeding them the right tools for repair. And that's exactly what we'll cover next. Now that we know what to avoid, let's talk about what to add. In the next section, we'll explore 5 powerful, proven foods that actively repair and protect your heart. Foods you can enjoy every day to support better circulation, lower inflammation, and regain control of your cardiovascular health. By now, you know which foods to be cautious of, but just as important is what you choose to eat instead. After 60, your heart needs support, not restriction. It needs foods that nourish, repair, and protect, and that's exactly what these 5 natural options can do. These are not exotic superfoods or hard-to-find powders. They're real, everyday foods that you can begin adding to your routine today. Let's go through each one, and I'll show you exactly why they help and how to use them. 1. Extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil isn't just a kitchen staple. It's a medicinal food when used correctly. Rich in polyphenols, this golden oil protects the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your arteries. Polyphenols are plant compounds that fight oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, and even help lower blood pressure. A major study from Spain, part of the pre-dimed trial, showed that people over 60 who consumed more olive oil daily had significantly lower risk of heart attack and stroke. How to use it: drizzle over cooked vegetables. Use as a salad dressing with lemon, or dip whole grain bread in a small dish before dinner. Always choose cold-pressed extra virgin and avoid heating it at high temperatures. 2. Leafy greens, spinach, arugula, Swiss chard, and kale are rich in nitrates, natural compounds that the body converts into nitric oxide. Vessels relax and expand. This can reduce arterial stiffness and support healthy blood pressure regulation. Leafy greens are also packed with magnesium, potassium, and fiber, all of which work together to keep your arteries flexible and clear. How to use them: add a handful to smoothies, saute them in olive oil, or toss them raw with lemon juice and seeds. Try to include at least 1 cup of dark greens per day. 3. Avocado. Avocados are full of heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and an impressive amount of potassium, which helps regulate heartbeat and counteract sodium's effect on blood pressure. Also contain plant sterols that can support healthy cholesterol levels and vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects artery walls from oxidative damage. How to use it: spread mashed avocado on toast instead of margarine. Add to salads or blend into smoothies for creaminess without dairy. 1/2 avocado a day is plenty. 4. Flaxseed. This tiny seed packs a mighty punch, especially for postmenopausal women. Flax seeds are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that reduces inflammation. They also contain lignans, which have mild estrogen-like properties that may support hormonal balance after menopause and help protect against arterial plaque buildup. A meta-analysis from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that flaxseed can significantly lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, especially in adults over 50. How to use it? Always buy ground flaxseed, as whole seeds pass through undigested. Sprinkle on yogurt, oatmeal, or blend into smoothies. Start with 1 tablespoon per day. 5. Hibiscus or green tea. Both teas contain potent antioxidants called catechins and anthocyanins, which help reduce oxidative stress, improve circulation, and support healthy cholesterol and blood pressure levels. Hibiscus tea, in particular, has been shown to act as a natural ACE inhibitor, meaning it can gently reduce blood pressure, much like some medications, but without the side effects. How to use them: steep hibiscus tea for 10 minutes and drink hot or cold. Green tea is best consumed fresh and without sugar. Aim for 1 to 2 cups per day, but avoid close to bedtime as it can be slightly stimulating. Remember, you don't have to change everything overnight, but by adding even 1 or 2 of these foods consistently, you're helping your arteries heal, you're lowering inflammation, you're calming the systems that have been quietly overworked for years, and most importantly, you're showing your heart the care and attention it deserves. Now, let's wrap up with a quick summary and a powerful reminder that it's never too late to start taking care of your heart. Let's take a moment to look back at what we've learned. You started this video thinking you were doing the right thing, choosing low-fat yogurt for your bones and weight, grabbing a granola bar instead of chips, swapping butter for margarine, because that's what the commercials said, but now you know. Those 3 healthy foods can quietly harm your heart, especially after 60 low-fat yogurt, often packed with hidden sugars and artificial sweeteners that spike your blood sugar and inflame your arteries. Granola and fitness bars, highly processed, full of oxidized oils and sweeteners that sabotage your metabolism. Margarine or plant-based spreads, loaded with damaged fats that stiffen your arteries and increase your risk of stroke, particularly in postmenopausal women. The truth is, these foods are marketed as healthy, but your heart tells a different. And now you have the power to choose differently. You've also learned that simple, everyday foods can help reverse the damage and support your heart naturally. Olive oil to calm inflammation, leafy greens to relax your arteries, avocado to balance blood pressure, flaxseed to gently support hormonal and cardiovascular health, hibiscus, or green tea to lower your risk of hypertension. And here's the most important takeaway. You don't have to change everything all at once. You don't need a brand new kitchen, a special diet, or a stack of supplements. Just start with one change. Maybe it's switching your yogurt or replacing margarine with avocado. That single step sends a powerful message to your body and to yourself. I am worth taking care of, and you are. Your heart has carried you through decades of love, loss, laughter, and life. Now it's time to return the favor. So tell me, have you eaten any of these 3 healthy foods recently? How do you feel after learning what they really do inside your body? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe for more weekly guidance on living well after 60. You deserve information you can trust, in a voice that respects your wisdom. Thank you for watching, and remember, every small change you make today is a gift to your heart tomorrow.